And welcome everybody to episode 59 of the Paws Up podcast. We're soon approaching episode 60, so I think the consensus with us was let's bring it all back to football. I mean, it's every month there's always something to talk about regarding football, collegiate, NFL. Football is the sport that never goes away, even when the season's over. So let's bring it all back to that, and we're coming at you from episode 59 with one of the stars of FIU Football's team, the big man on defense, number not 42, number 0, Reggie Peterson. Reggie, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in Florida still, so it's still hot. It's hot as hell. But no, I'm feeling good. How you guys doing?
We're doing better with you now, man.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Reggie is entering his senior season with the Panthers, put up some amazing stats last year, and is now looking to lead the defense as FIU looks to get into a bowl game. And I know Reggie's going to be one of the main men to do it. So Let's get right into talking about some football. But before FIU, Reggie, I wanted to always ask you, because I always ask all the athletes we get on this show, just growing up, what in Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Southern Florida.
There we go.
Want to acknowledge that. What got you to play football growing up there, and when did you realize that it was something you'd want to explore full time?
So growing up in Fort Pierce, I always had a bunch of friends who would come outside and just play like these small games of football. It could either be throw them up, bust them up, or like teams of 8 versus 8. And I remember being so depressed seeing everybody leave at 5 p.m. And me and my brothers would be the only one outside. Every day at 5 p.m. growing up as a kid, everybody would hurry up and run home. They'd be like, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Me and my brothers used to be like, where are you guys going? They were like, we're going to football practice. And I'm like, dang. So I was honestly just bored. And my mom was just like, you too aggressive. You got to go play a sport or something. Like, go let it all out on the football field. And so my mom first, she signed me up for football, and I played for Fort Pierce Eagles. And my first position ever was right tackle. I was a right tackle. I played right tackle.
Damn.
So that's
you talk about aggression. I feel like right tackle's not the right position to be at for aggression, man. You got to play defense. So what prompted the move to linebacker?
So my coach, he saw a liking in me, Willie Boston and Coach Don at the time. Those were my little league coaches. And at first, everybody always have running back dreams. Everybody want to go run the ball or touch the ball. And my coach was like, not everybody can touch the ball. So, and I remember the day they put me at running back as my first position. My second position was running back. And it was a mercy roll. And I remember they told me, do not run outside the cone. It's mercy roll. You got to run up the middle. And I remember right when I get the ball, they say downside hut, and I just run straight for the sideline. And they called it back. They was like, okay, yeah, you're going to defense. And we was in practice. Yeah, I know. When we was in practice, I remember we was doing hitting drills. I was terrified. And I remember running, and I closed my eyes, and I wake up, my eyes open, he's on his back, and I'm on top of him, and the ball's way down there. And my coach was like, you are playing defense. So they was like, yeah, you're playing defense from now on. And then just my coaches just from Little League, they the ones who helped me out a little bit of learning how to tackle. They put the biggest dude on the team. His name was Refrigerator. I'm in like 6th grade. Refrigerator is in 7th grade, but he is huge. And my coach made me go head up with him like 10 times. He was like, you ain't going to play against nobody bigger than him. He's like, you tackle him, you can tackle anybody in this league. And yeah, he just taught me how to tackle. He made me go up Refrigerator like 10 times back to back in hitting drills. And I've never been scared to hit anybody else since. So.
Oh man, what a story! Yeah. My God, do you still know the Refrigerator?
Yes, Janarius Bernard. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's my guy.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's circle a bit to your senior season at Centennial High School, right? That was part of a very, very busy part of your life, Reggie. You suffered a broken wrist, I believe, in week 3, but you chose to play through the pain with a cast instead of having to miss time, and that ultimately didn't faze you as far as success on the field. You had an amazing senior season, but still, looking back at it, how tough of a decision was this for you to make to make it back then, considering that all the possibilities that the injury could worsen over time?
I'm not gonna lie, it was very tough. At the time, I was just one of those guys who had a bunch of interests. Like colleges would just always come and see me, but would like never offer me. And then my coach was just telling me how this senior year is very important. So I remember just the camp, just that summer, I was killing it that whole summer. I just transitioned to transferring to St. Lucie West Centennial because I transferred from Fort Pierce Westwood. And I just remember doing every camp, and I can see the colleges start coming day by day now. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And I remember going against our rivals. And I made a tackle, and my own teammate, he tackled with his head down, and his crown of his helmet landed on my wrist, and it broke my wrist, like it broke it. And I remember losing feeling in it, and if you were there, you can just see my wrist dangling like this, like in the game. It was just dangling, and my coach was like, "Oh, you're done." I'm like, "Just tape it up. I don't feel it right now because all that adrenaline." And we was going against our rivals, Vero Beach High School. So after the game, I felt everything. Like I felt everything, and I'm just thinking it's like dislocated or something. We go to the hospital, and I'm not worried. And the doctor come back in, and she's like, you broke your wrist. And I just started crying. I'm like, no, like I can't break my wrist. Like this is impossible. She was like, yeah, you're gonna be out for like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, out there, this not college. You can't redshirt. I'm like, I gotta play my senior season, so I got to. And my mom was like, what do you want to do? And they were like, do you want to do surgery? I was like, no, I'm not gonna do surgery. We can just pray on it, and I just throw a cast on there. And so I ended up throwing a cast on there, and my coaches was telling me how Virginia Tech is coming to the game to see me go against DeMarcus Bowman, a running back for Lakeland, the week after, number one running back in the class of 2020. And and then I just found word that I wasn't playing. So Virginia Tech, I want to say half of their coaching staff is at that game to watch me play, and I am on the sideline with a different alternate jersey on, not playing. And then word got out, and I lost every interest. All the little offers that I had were just gone. And so I didn't have anybody. So I just played with that chip on my shoulder the week after that to come back. And I ended up getting, I want to say 100+ tackles with one arm that whole entire season with that mindset because I knew that I was trying to get an offer. I was trying to get a scholarship to go play ball. And I knew that my life just changed in a split second just by breaking my wrist from going to school and not going to school. So I think that's one of the hardest things is probably telling your mom that you're going to school for free, and then with all the offers you have, but then the next day, hey mom, like I'm not going to school for free. So it's like a lot of people don't get to play college ball where I'm from. So I was just distraught, I was just in distraught. So yeah, I just played with that mindset. I had great coaches. I had great people around me. I didn't even do physical therapy after. I was just like, I want to play ball. I'm gonna take care of my wrist. I'm very self-motivated, so I would do dumbbells at home. Just do a lot of wrist stuff. And that was just my mindset to just ball out. But I didn't get anybody. Like I didn't get anybody after like anybody. Nobody offered me. So that's why I play with a chip on my shoulder when I go against anybody. I would say the main school that I would play a chip on my shoulder forever is definitely FAU. They were the last school to tell me no. They're like no.
Man.
Yes, like I was in the office with my best friend. His name was Jamari Stewart. He was a 4-star committed to Mississippi State, and they called both of us out of class. And we're with our head coach. Hear this out. We're with our head coach. And Jamari's already committed, and this is the last day where coaches can come and see you. And it was Coach KP, Kevin Patrick, the D-line coach at FAU. He calls us in the room. It's me, Jamar, my head coach, and Coach KP. He says, hey, I came here to look at both of you guys, just evaluate both of you guys. So I'm thinking, oh, wow, I'm about to get an offer. My coach is telling me, like, Reggie, you might get an offer. They're coming. Me and Jamari play the same position. I didn't play inside backer in high school. I play outside backer. Okay. So, and Coach KP says, hey, Reggie, we're not coming here to offer you. We're coming here to offer Jamari Stewart. And Jamari says, I'm already committed to Mississippi State. Reggie has nowhere to go. And he was like, hey, the head man wants you. So I'm like, that was the last school that told me no. So that's why every time I go against FAU, I play with I just play with that intensity. Now that we get to play against them, they also have we play against them. And the 2 years that we played against them prior, like 2 years ago, I was on the D line and I came in like third quarter and had 5 tackles in like 3 minutes. So my coach was like, okay, so and it's just crazy because another thing, Coach Rock from Buffalo, he told me no, and now he's the DC at FAU. So it's about to go
That's
down.
insane.
Yes.
Week three at
Week 3. Put it on your calendars.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about FIU, man. Let's finally get to that. You joined FIU. You look to make yourself at home. Enjoy the 305. Grab a cafecito. But there was a big problem, right? It was 2020. You know, COVID-19 was rampant. The Panthers were hit hard in your first year, man. So I want to know, where was your mental state during all this? Looking to find playing time in the midst of what felt like the whole roster was getting infected, games were getting canceled. 2020 was crazy. What was your mind like through all that?
2020 was crazy because a lot of things was going on in 2020, but I think in 2020 around that time, that's the only year my mom told me that I had a year to get a scholarship. So in 2020, I'm terrified. I'm like, okay, I go to this team. This is the team that just beat University of Miami. So I'm like, okay, we got some guys. So we got some guys in this linebacker room. And I remember going there, and I'm not hard to talk to. Everybody came up to me easily and talked to me easily, and I made friends with everybody. And like I told Kevin before, I was like, I treated myself like a sponge. I put myself around the older guys. And the thing is, my mom told me, she said, don't tell anybody that you have a year. Like, don't tell anybody. She was like, if you're gonna earn it, you're gonna earn it. So none of the coaches knew I had a year left. None of the players knew I only had 1 year to earn a scholarship. So it was just points in time that I'm gonna tell you how different my mindset was. My freshman year, I got into 3 total fights because people thought I was a goody two shoe. Oh, Reggie, come out with us. Come hang out with us. At like 10 p.m. Come hang out. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be at the stadium. I'm about to go do some footwork drills or some catching drills. They're like, bro, you do too much. Oh, Reggie, come out to eat with us. I'm like, nah, I'm about to go upstairs, go learn the playbook real quick. You're not even playing defense. I'm like, but still, I just want to go learn it. They're like, bro, Reggie, you do too much. You do too much. And it sometimes it turned into fights because they felt like that I thought I was better than everybody else. But again, they don't know in the back of my mind, I only have a year left. Like, let me do this so we can hang out 3 to 4 years from now. Like, just let me get this out of the way. And nobody never knew that. And a great friend, Rocky, once told me, he said, Reggie, I see what you're doing. You working so hard. You're going hard in practice. It was to the point like Devon Strickland, who was once a walk-on. I didn't even know who he was, but he was on the punt team and he was on one of the shields, and I was on punt return scout team, and I would run and put my helmet so far down his chin strap every play, and they would call me out in the meetings saying, "Hey, who's 46? Great job, great job." And Devon Strickland used to be like, "Hey, you going too hard? Chill out." I'm like, "No, I'm not chilling out. No, I'm not chilling out." So it's to the point that I was going too crazy. I used to accidentally like put my hands on the quarterback, and I got yelled at. They were like, no, and so it was to the point that as you can see all those stories that I'm telling you, that was my mindset. It's like, I'm gonna be different. I just gotta sit this year out with you guys. I'm not like, and it was just crazy because at the time, my freshman year, I lost a total of 20 pounds because Butch Davis had a rule: walk-ons cannot eat. So walk-ons didn't eat at the time. So if you was a walk-on, you couldn't eat breakfast with the team. If you was a walk-on, you couldn't eat. They didn't have team meals for us. We had to go spend our money at the calf. So we had to go walk all the way to the calf and things like that. And I just felt like it lit a fire in me because I will never forget my first football practice at FIU. It was embarrassing. Like, it was embarrassing. Not on the field, but prior. I remember waking up at like 6. I'm stretching, and I walk into the locker room, and one of the coaches say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean what I'm doing?" He's like, "Your name's Reggie, right?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Your locker room's not in here. Your locker room's the visitor locker room. Walk-ons are the visitor locker rooms." And so I had to walk all the way to the visitors, and we didn't have lockers. We just had chairs. with our shirts and pants on a nail on the wall. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this is all right. So the goal was to get out of there, like get out of the visitors' walking room. That's the goal. Get out of the visitors' walking room. And I remember the first practice, we go outside and everybody's already on the field 15 minutes besides the walk-ons. And only the scholarship players are dressed. They didn't give us our clothes. We didn't have anything. We was in the stuff that we came with. And Bush yelled, "Why are you guys not dressed? Why are you late?" We like, "Coach, you didn't give us our clothes. Like how are we gonna practice if you didn't give us our clothes?" And that's when I knew that being a walk-on is cutthroat. Like it's cutthroat. Yeah, it's legit. If you're gonna be a walk-on, you gotta come with that mindset. And then that's what I did. And I remember one of the practices what I made a name for myself with special teams. Rocky was like, "You're too focused on linebacker." He was like, "If I were you, I'd take it the special teams route." And that was probably one of the best advice I ever got, because taking the special teams route is how I made a name for myself. And I was my freshman year all the way through Butch era, I was named his favorite. Like I was his favorite player on the football field. And I would say after I earned that scholarship, Butch Davis told me to come to his office. And I'll never forget this. This is why I will forever have love for Butch Davis. He says, "You remind me of one of the players that I coached at the University of Miami Hurricanes, like Ray Lewis and them guys, like your mindset." And him telling me that was one of the best things that I ever heard. So he says, "Grab the trophy." So I'm like, it's like a replica of the Lombardi trophy. I'm like, okay. So he's like, "Grab that." So I'm holding the Super Bowl trophy right now. He's like, "Hold it over your head." I'm like, okay. I'm holding the Super Bowl trophy over my head. He says, "Not scream like you just won." I'm like, yeah, yeah. And he says, word for word, "Watch that become deja vu one day. Keep doing what you're doing and watch that become deja vu." And I was like, that was like one of the best things that I ever heard. So, yeah, that's how my freshman year went.
That's insane.
Love it.
That's crazy.
Talk to us a little bit about that 2021 season. It was the final year of Butch Davis. Things weren't going the way for the program. And then all this turnover comes in. Just talk to us about that season, how tough it was for you guys, because I believe it was you guys beat Long Island. And after that, I mean, it kind of all went downhill for you guys.
2021 is when Coach Kopp left FIU. Coach Kopp was no longer the linebacker coach. And we come to get Coach McCray, and I see at least 12 to 15 linebackers, and only 2 of them play. So Butch Davis comes in the offense, and he's like, "All right, we need D linemen." And so I'm not raising my hand. My hand is down. I'm like, "I play linebacker. I'm not going to that D line. I'm not going to those trenches." And Coach McCray was like, "All right, I'll pick." So that's at the time we get one of my close friends, Guyton Bernadette. We was just arguing on the phone. Literally, we was just arguing on the phone like today at 2. We're like, "Who's better? Who's better?" I'm like, "I did better than you when you was here." So we was just arguing about that. But Guyton Bernadette, he comes off rip and takes somebody's spot. I'm like, "Oh my God." So I get a call, "Hey, come by to the office later on today." And they tell me I go to D line. So I go to D line, and I was just told I'm gonna just be a special teams player. And I was on every phase, special teams. I was on every phase, but just being able, the hardest thing to do is to watch your position, and just see things that you can do good in that spot. You get what I'm saying? Like you're like, only if I always play linebacker, I know I can make that play. Like I know I can get that interception right now. I know I can. And just 2021, the chemistry of that team was one of the best chemistries that I ever had. It's honestly crazy. It's one of the best chemistries that I ever had on that football team, players wise. But I would say one thing: nobody loved that coaching staff at all. Like our defense did not like Coach Withers. Like they do not like him. Our defense did not like him. Didn't respect him at all. There was points of time that Coach Withers he gave us 200 up downs one practice. It was like, "We ain't practicing today. We got straight up downs," because we look back. Like when they kicked the field goal, his one of his rules was don't look back at the field goal. If you look back, we're gonna times it by 3, then power it by 3 all the way. And one day we had 200 up down, so nobody liked Coach Withers and about that. And that was then, and me being on the team, I was like, come on, man, like you got to understand the coaching. Like he's a coach at the end of the day. Like you listen to what he's doing. But I knew it was all said and done. Our FAU game when our team thought they were bigger than the coaching staff to the point that our coaching staff literally quit during the FAU game. Like they quit.
Yeah.
We was in the locker room. They're like, he said, word for word, coach yourselves. I'm not coaching you. And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, we're going to go 1-11. The chemistry there was just crazy. And I just knew the D-line coach told me, he told me, he called me in his office. He said, Reggie, you just earned your scholarship months ago, but I'm letting you know we just went 1-11. This whole coaching staff is going to get fired. And the new coaching staff, they're going to bring in their people, their own guys. So now he's putting fear in my heart, but then I got to remember, Reggie, remember that mentality that you had your freshman year. Nobody's going to top you if you just remember where you came from.
Yeah.
And so he tells me that, and we get a new coaching staff, and it's Coach Mike McIntyre, and he brings his whole coaching staff. And I'm like, I'm kind of happy because I'm like, I can go back to linebacker now. I don't have to play D-line. I can go back to linebacker. I go back to linebacker, and I kid you not, when I tell you the obstacles that I had to go through, we get announced our linebacker coach, and it's Coach DeWitt. Now, let me tell you guys about Coach DeWitt. I used to text Coach, and he laughs about it. I used to text Coach DeWitt in high school, and he blocked me. He blocked me. Coach DeWitt blocked my number because I wasn't one of his guys on his board. He blocked my number. My chat went from blue to green. We still laugh about it. You could ask him. But he says, Reggie, I think I was going through cancer at the time, so I wasn't even on my phone. It was my GA. I was like, but you told your GA what to do. Your GA done blocked me. He was like, all right, we're not about to offer this guy. So I'm not even I was like, Coach DeWitt, we laugh about it now, but I was like, what? I'm like, come on, God, what other obstacle do I have to go through right now? I literally have a linebacker coach who blocked me in high school. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So he comes in and he don't know who I am. I jog his memory. He just started laughing. He was like, no, I don't know who you are. I was like, dang. But it hurts my heart because I'm good friends with GB, and I'm like, which is Guyton Bernardale, and he finds out who the linebacker coach is. It's crazy because we was just laughing about this today. He says, let's go. I'm like, what? He's like, we just got Coach DeWitt. I'm like, who's that? He's like, bro, he offered me at Nebraska, North Carolina. I said, GB, we're going for the same spot too. So I'm like, oh, God. I was like, what else do I have to do? I'm like, what more do I have to do? And it was just crazy because that's how 2021 went, and it did not go. I was the second string linebacker behind Guyton Bernardale and Coach DeWitt. Well, that's 2022. That's when Coach DeWitt came in. I was the second string linebacker behind Guyton Bernardale and Coach DeWitt. He gave me some strong words himself too. I was like, dang, it's the second coach who said this. I was like, all right. So I go and ask Coach DeWitt. I'm like, okay, what do I need to fix? Because I'm not playing right now. Since I'm not playing. He was like, Reggie, you're a great guy, but in my opinion, you play exactly like Guyton Bernardale. Like, you guys are splitting images. So I say, okay. And he tells me, he said, now why would I play you if you play like Guyton Bernardale? Like, I have no reason to play you. And he told me that right in my face. I'm like, dang. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I go to him, and this is why Coach DeWitt respects me. He said it in his interview with Kevin and Jonathan. He said it in his interview with you guys. Yeah. He said, Reggie once told me, I came to his office the next day because I couldn't sleep at night when he told me that. I said, Coach DeWitt, I know the plays. You see me teach everybody else the plays. You see me even teach the starter the plays. I'm a great leader. I'm going to make you trust me. I said, whatever I do, I'm going to make you trust me. And he looked at me. He was like, then, okay. He said, you going to make me trust you? I said, yes. I said, whatever I do, I'm going to make you trust me. I said, I'm going to make you play me. You don't got to play me, but someday you're going to play me, and I'm going to make you play me. And he laughs, and he's like, okay. They're like, all right. That week that I told him that, I get an 80-yard interception versus North Texas first drive that I get in.
Nice.
And he's like, because Guyton ended up hurting his hand first drive, and Guyton gave up a touchdown because he got the wrong call. So first drive, I get an 80-yard interception, and he sits in the box, and I fumble, but we score a touchdown. I hit it back and bounce to Adrian Cole, and he scores. And I run to the sideline, and I said, give me the mic, the headset. And he's laughing. I'm like, I told you. He's like, his number one thing he says, goddamn Reggie P. That's what he said. And he's like, yup, you told me. He's like, you told me. And so I'll never forget this. Coach Mack comes to the sideline because, believe it or not, Coach Mack's the head coach. He goes to it, listens to Coach Mack. So if I'm not playing, it's because of you, and it's because of you. Coach Mack, you are not playing me for a reason. And Coach Mack, he comes to the sideline after my interception. I'm like, he hears me. He's like, hey, don't be saying I told you. Don't be saying I told you. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm too hyped right now. I'm too hyped. So I'm sitting down on the sideline. I'm like, dang, I just got my little fame real quick. And defense is back up. He said, what are you doing? Get back in. I'm like, oh. So I run back in, and that's when it went from there. So in 3 games, I think I had like 30 tackles, and so that's what did it for. So 2022, last 4 games was definitely what did it for me.
And this kind of all leads us to last season. It was you and Don. You guys combined for over 100 tackles each, and you guys were off to a great start. Then you had also that interception against Sam Houston. You were so close to getting the pick 6.
So close.
Take us through this. That was we go through Coach Mack's first season. Take us through year number 2 with Coach Mack, and I guess just talk to us kind of a little bit about the differences between what you saw from Butch and Coach Mack and those coaching staffs, because you were with Butch, I believe, for 2 years, and now you're entering year 3 with Mack.
Yes. So that year, so I'll talk about the year with Coach Mack. Coach Mack, his mentality is definitely different. Butch, I think he relies on his Hall of Fame career too much, to the point that all he would talk about was UM. Yeah. Like even when he was at FIU, all he would talk about was UM. He'd be like, hey, UM this, UM that. And it's like it's a great way to listen though, because you want to learn from UM mistakes, but at a point in time, it's like, okay, because like we're not at UM, and I think a lot of guys saw that. But everybody, I would forever love Butch. Butch is one of my favorite guys, man. But when Matt came in, I would say this is when I first knew that Mac was about his business. It was when Mac first got there, and I'm telling you, I am a nobody. Like I'm a nobody, other than a special teams captain for 3 years straight who earned a scholarship. And Coach Mac knocks on my door in Port St. Lucie, and I'm like, he's like, hey, and he comes to talk to my family. I'm like, this guy just made the effort to fly to Baltimore to go talk to Tyrese Chambers, to come talk to drive 2 hours, to text the team, hey, I don't know you guys yet, but I'm coming here to this hotel. If you all live close to Orlando, meet up here. If you all live in Miami, meet at the school. And just he went out of his way to go do that. And that just showed me that Coach Mack really cared. And and that's just something, a coach that went above and beyond. So I definitely give Coach Mack his props about that. He shows that he truly cares and like about you, the 4 F's that he always talks about. And so off rip, that's what I just liked about Coach Mack. 2022 season, with the 2022 season, the best thing that happened was a lot of you guys don't know me, like obviously you guys know now, but me and Don, we are best friends. We are best friends. And so we're roommates as well, too. So we were always around each other. And I say this still to this day, there's no better thing than chemistry. It's to the point that whenever you guys don't even know because you guys don't know our plays. If I messed up one time, Don was there to cover my tracks. If Don messed up, I run from my spot to go run to his spot to cover his tracks. And that, from the first 4 games, I'm like, this is a championship mentality right here. Like, we're 3-1. We should have been 4-0. We're not gonna talk about the first game, but we 3-1 at the time, And we're like, I was like, the last time I've been on a team like this when everybody loves each other and like plays around and just about their business is in high school, my sophomore year when we at Fort Pierce Westwood when we won the conference championship. So I'm like, I'm like, okay, like we can do something. But the thing is, seemed like it was only me and Don who had that mindset. You get what I'm saying? I told the team a lot that I feel like we traveling too much clicks. Like we traveling like the DBs hang with the DBs, the linebackers hang with the linebackers, the D line hang with the D line. I'm like, we're not gonna win like that. We're not gonna win like that if we all hang around in cliques the way we do. So I was telling our team that and Don understood that because Don won. Don got his rings, and Don all he'd do he'll flex it. He like, you got this ring. I don't think you do, and you don't think you got that ring. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get it though. And so just having that mindset that me and Don has, I see Donovan like a brother. You know, I tell him I love you like my mama made you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm buying his jersey from the Vikings, number 40 is coming in soon. That NFL jersey. I'm buying that jersey. So I'm telling him that. And just for Coach DeWitt to see that, Coach DeWitt told us that we're the best. And Coach DeWitt been coaching for 26 years. Coach DeWitt said me and Donovan is the best linebacker duo that he ever had in his life. And he coached amazing players at UCF, at FAU, at West Point, he at North Carolina. He went through all the divisions. And for him to say that about me and Donovan, that was just one of the best things that I ever heard. So, and me and Don, knowing that we broke Went record, him and his buddy, since 2016, I was like, that's an accomplishment. And just having Donovan in my ear, I tell you guys all the time, like I said it on the interview, I was like, Don, he helped me out. I don't know if you guys can see, but my numbers went from 5 tackles a game to 6 tackles a game to 14 and like 15 and 13. So Don was like, he just told me one thing. He said, Reggie, you're one of the smartest football players I know. Like, that's what every coach says about me. Like, I try to be the quarterback of the defense. They're like, Reggie, you know everything before it happens. You call out the plays. He's like, all you got to do is just run. Like, if you jump it, you jump it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Just go, just run. Yeah. And Don once told me, he said, thump and run, Don. That's what they call me. Thump and run. He said, I thump and I run. He said, I hit anything that moved. And I'll never forget, he told me that game, and I want to say it was Middle Tennessee when he told me that, and I had 13 tackles in the first half. So, and it's to the point that Middle Tennessee didn't even run my way anymore. Like, I didn't get another tackle till the fourth quarter. So I was like, dang. So Don helped me out. And then I would say another thing that definitely helped me out, Coach DeWitt is a hell of a guy, man. He's a hell of a guy. He cares about you, truly. And Coach DeWitt, he comes to me. He's like, Reggie, it's the first half of the season. He's like, Reggie, you're playing. He said, you're playing well. He said, you're playing good football, but you could be playing so much better the way that I seen you play. He like, Reggie, a lot of people don't go to our practices, but you get an interception every practice. Like every practice you get one. And so I'm like, yes, sir. So he was like, Reggie, I'm going starting. It was the 7th game. He said, starting this game, I'm going to talk to you one-on-one before the game. So that's why if you guys see there's videos of him holding me by my shoulder pad, he's motivating me. He's self-motivating me. I mean, he's talking to me. And Coach DeWitt, he reminds me of everything that I've been through every game. So when he started doing that, I went from 5 tackles to 13, and I from double digits the whole time. And so Coach DeWitt, we have a little thing that we do. We're gonna start it again. He talks to me every game, and he reminds me, and it's something he says, he like, hey, you didn't come far for this for no reason. You didn't walk on for no reason. I didn't block you. Yes, look at me. I blocked you. You got stuff to prove. You got to prove to me that you're ready to do this. You talk about going to the NFL. You want to be in the NFL. Prove to me that you want to be in the NFL. Your mom paid school for you. When you gonna pay her back? When are you gonna provide for your family? Because your family spent thousands of dollars for you to go to school, and you're telling me that you're gonna get 5 and 6 tackles a game. You're doing your job, but I need you to go above and beyond. And he just told me that to the point that my eyes would get so watery before the game, and I would just see I don't see nobody. I don't see the other team. I don't see who's in the helmet. I just see a different color jersey, and I'm trying to get it dirty. That's all. That's my mindset, and DeWitt helped me
Hell
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, is it time for a quick break?
Let's do it.
All righty then. It's time for a quick news break, looking at all things FIU athletics and just FIU in general. So let's start off with FIU softball. All right. Freshman Callie Meredith earned a spot in the Conference USA's all-freshman team thanks to her hitting and ability to steal bases, which are among the best stat-wise in the conference. She also earned a spot on the Conference USA all-second team alongside Paws Up podcast legend Bailey Grossenbacher, who has had a breakout season following her injury last year. So FIU softball recently closed out their regular season with a series win over Louisiana Tech, wrapping up with a 21-29 overall record. Next up is some FIU football news reported earlier today. The Panthers were set to take on the Liberty Flames in Lynchburg, Virginia on Wednesday, October 9th. However, per a request directly from Conference USA, the game has been moved to Tuesday, October 8th at 7 o'clock. So very quick look at all things FIU athletics here at Newsbreak. So let's just get right back into the discussion here, Reggie, talking about the modern-day look of this FIU Panthers squad.
Yeah, Reggie. Right now, spring showcase wrapped up not too long ago. We're in the summer. You guys got workouts, I believe, coming up at some point pretty soon. Just tell us what you saw during the spring. What stood out to you about this team? Keywan, another year under his belt, or entering year 2. You guys, another year with DeWitt. It's year 3 with Coach Mack. Just what stood out to you?
So I would say this spring was probably one of the best springs that I ever seen. I would say the group of guys that we have in our linebacker room. So the difference was, I would say in the previous 4 years that I've been here, not everybody in the linebacker room knew what to do, and I would just look around. It was always like 3 to 4 guys out of like 10 who knew what to do. The other 6 was just clueless. This is the first linebacker room that I've been in. All 9 of us know what to do. All 9 of us. And you can ask the new guys. I hosted in my room. I was like, hey, everybody, at Wednesday at 5 p.m., come to my room right now. We're going over the plays. And I literally bought a mini projector. I treated it like we didn't film. I put it on my wall. I'm like, all right, hey, I didn't do this. I could be better on this pass drop. Hey, EA, show the mics what to do. Percy, hey, great job. Nunu, great job. Trey, great job. And it's just like we criticize and I tell them, hey, we come to our room. Hey, the coach is not here. DeWitt's not here. We can't keep relying on the coaches. It's to the point that we're setting up our own meetings and things like that without a coach telling us what to do. The coaches didn't even know. They're probably going to find out right now that I'm hosting meetings in my room and in my film room. So, and it's just it turned in just inside linebackers started doing it, outside linebackers started doing it. Then a couple safeties started coming. So now we got all these guys in my room watching film. So it turned to 1 to 3 to 5, to 9, now 10. Now there's like 10 guys in my room, and we're like, hey, go to that play. Even if it's a great play, they're like, okay, I feel like I could have did this better. Like I feel like I could have did this better. And I always tell the guys in the inside background, I'm like, hey, nobody gets left behind. Nobody. So Coach DeWitt, he's the type of a person, he's not gonna call a new play if he knows that everybody's not on set. So he'll ask me, he's like, how do you think the team is looking? I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, Coach, we need to stay on this aspect probably another week. We can't move on to another play if we're not getting this in the set. So he's like, I like that. That's a great idea. So we don't move on to another play at all. Like we stay on it and we try to get everybody learning. I'm like, I understand y'all got class, but in order to leave this meeting room, you're not leaving until you draw it up on the board in like 7 different formations. And they're like, oh, Reggie, you like cutthroat. I'm like, I want to win. I want to win. And I get mad at myself because I'm like, I should have been doing this years before. Why do I have to wait until it's my turn to do this? And so for anybody who feels like it's not your turn yet, you don't have to be scared to go stand up on the board and go speak your mind and go talk, because everybody can lead. It doesn't matter about seniority. You can be a freshman, you can be a sophomore, you can be a junior, you can be a senior, you can be a grad year. Anybody can lead. Just come with the right mindset. And if you choose to lead, people will look at you and determine the way how you do things off the field. I didn't choose to be a leader. I feel like the team chose me to be a leader because remember my freshman year is how I came to practice. Whenever somebody see me, I was the first one there, literally stretching on my yoga mat. Whenever somebody left, I'll be the last one running the field or picking up stuff. Or whenever somebody saw me, I'll hurry up and go grab the water coolers for the trainers, the athletic trainers, so they wouldn't grab the jug. It's the little things. And I felt like the team saw that and they were like, okay, we want Reggie to be a captain. It's not, I didn't force that into me. I feel like the team chose me to be a leader. And that's just one of the best feelings, you know? And yeah, so this spring, you know, going against Lights, he's very competitive. I never met any Miami people until I met a couple of Miami people at FIU. And when they feel like, you know, when they talk, they talk. They know how to talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang. So he's talking. So Light tells me, I remember Light's first year. Light says, I go to Lights. I'm like, you might be our quarterback. You might come and play or whatever, but you're going to throw me a pick. He says, Reggie, I ain't never threw a pick to no linebacker in my life, and you will not be the first one. I'm like, so I say, okay. So I said, and we had a bet. I think his second week, he throws an interception to me. And I started laughing. I'm like, I'm your first linebacker you threw a pick to? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's an accomplishment. Mr. Three State champ. And so and that's when you know, I try to get my thing is I play when I talk, like I try to get under anybody's skin. Like so this spring practice went very good because I got a lot of people upset. Like if somebody's not fighting me, that means I didn't have a good practice. Somebody has to fight me every practice. Like I'm talking junk every play. As if it's somebody new, for an example, if the freshman throws me a pick, I hand the ball to Coach Yo. So Coach Hickson, he's my favorite, Coach Hickson. I tell these guys, I'm like, welcome to varsity, kid. Like this ain't high school, welcome to varsity. And they get so upset. And so now when they get in, they're running the ball twice as hard. And they don't even know. I'm like, okay, like I gotta tackle a little bit lower a little bit now. So I like getting everybody riled up. So now when I call out Lights, I'm like, Lights, you gonna throw me a pick? Lights throwing like 5 touchdowns now. So I'm like, that's what we need. I'm like, that's what we need. So Lights showed me, and you know, Lights, he's smelling himself a little bit too much. You know, he in a weight room, got his little muscle up or whatever. He's smelling himself too much. So he feel like he can run the ball out the pocket now. I'm like, don't be stupid. I'm like, don't run. I'm like, don't be stupid. Don't run that ball out that pocket. I'm like, okay. I be telling him, I'm like, I don't care what Coach you'll say. You better stay in that pocket. Somebody gonna. So I be telling them, but yeah, it's just their intensity. I never seen offense so riled up, ever. Like when it's time to practice, when they call team, I know the coaches try to light up the fact that that they try to beat the players on the field by racing. Nah, I know when the offense is coming to play. When I see the O-line, I got this thing. I stare at the O-line in their eyes, and they do not play around no more. They like, all right, Reggie, hey, talk that trash that you was just talking last week. I'm like, yeah, all right. And the thing is, I'm like, okay, like they're eyeing me now, like they're keying the wheel. Right? I'm like, aren't you supposed to key the mic? But now they're like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but it's just they got a fire lit into them when you talk trash to somebody. So it's like, yeah, so they play extra hard. So this spring, like I said, like you guys was talking about, this spring definitely is one of my favorites. It's going to be in the books. I'll never forget this spring. And just as a family, I felt like, and the last thing I'll probably have to talk about for this question that you asked me, Coach Mack did a great job as in these family groups that I was telling you about. He hosted these family groups so everybody can get to know each other. But at first, I was thinking, okay, all right, these family groups are nice, but I felt like it was kind of forced. You're forcing people to get to know each other. Like, just let it happen naturally. And then Coach Mack just had this thing. He just did this thing. It was a great idea. He said, okay, so we got these family groups, right? All right. He started calling us out in practice. He's like, hey, Reggie, who's your family group? I'm like, okay. He's like, who's in your family group? I'm like, group 7. He's like, who's Kerbo brother and sister's name and how many siblings, who's his auntie, where's he born and where's he from? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. I'm like, You're like, all right, yeah, you don't win anything. Just an example. But he started doing that. So now you're teaching us, okay, I want to learn stuff about Kevin, or teach me stuff about Jake, or teach me stuff about Jonathan. So now, instead of just, all right, take a picture. We hanging out right now. Send it to Coach Matt. We're hanging out. No, hey, tell me, hey, where you from? Like, I need to know who you are. And that was the best thing. Now, whenever I look on defense, instead of looking to the left or right of me with Don, I know where Don's from. And I look behind me, I don't know where he's from. I just know his name. Okay, I look down in front of me, D-line, I know where you're from. EA, I know where you're from. Safety, hey, I know where you're from. Corner, hey, we in this fit together. I know where you're from too. So we all know each other's background now. And and my favorite thing that Coach Mack did, he called one person up each practice. And he says, and he is one chair. And we're all in the FIU meeting room. And he put a chair in the middle of the room. And he says, tell us your life story in front of the whole team. And now the whole team is hearing where I'm from, who I am. And it was just like, wow. So, yeah, that's one thing that was my favorite. So we definitely know each other now.
Alrighty then. Let's start to close up here with some rapid fire, quick answering questions here, Reggie.
I'm not good.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna lead you through it, starting with an easy one, I think. Who is the funniest player in that FIU locker room?
JoJo Evans.
There you go.
I don't even got to think about it. JoJo Evans is a comedian. Flat out comedian. Flat out.
All right.
Okay, I got a good one. Okay, on the team, who's getting the aux cord? Who's not getting the aux cord?
Who's getting the aux cord?
Yeah.
Who's always on the aux cord every time I practice? Who's getting the aux cord? Okay, so I'm gonna start with who's not getting the aux cord. Anybody from Miami on our football team, if you're watching this right now, all y'all feel like y'all play great music. And the thing is, y'all think fast music is good. I'm like, oh, so anybody from Miami will not be getting the aux cord. I will probably, the only person I'll make an exception for is Lights, because Lights listen to Rilo Rodriguez just like me. And that's my favorite artist, Rilo Rodriguez. So Lights will probably get it. But I would give the aux cord to not EA. Not EA. I would not give it to EA. And no special teams.
Damn, sorry, Chase.
Yeah, so Chase, no. But I would tell Jackson Lee no, because all Jackson Lee plays is Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. He plays that all the time. I love country music. And he just plays country music all the time. And no. So no to any, and that's all specialists. So no specialists. And I would probably give it to
You could say yourself. If you're that confident though.
No, I would never put myself up. I'll give it a Quez Tatum, D lineman. Quez Tatum, D lineman. I'll give it a Quez.
There you go.
I'll give it a Quez Tatum.
All right. What's your favorite spot to hang out on campus? Aside from your dorm, every athlete says that one.
I was about to say, our campus is not up to the school spirit like it was when I first got there. We need to change that. My freshman year used to be outside of Breezeway. That used to be the spot that all athletes chill at was outside of Breezeway. But now, if I have to go chill somewhere, it'll probably be, the little wooden swings.
Yeah.
I go sit over there with my girlfriend and go eat a pizza from time to time. So be over there. It'll be over there.
Okay.
There you go.
And what's your favorite food spot on campus?
I make a mean Subway, but if it's not Subway, I'll probably say, Panda Express.
There we go.
Chicken, fried rice, half fried rice, other half lo mein, with the red sweet and sour sauce all over my chicken and my fried rice and my lo mein. But honorable mention, it would be Chili's on Thursdays karaoke night because some people can sing.
Damn.
Who's the best singer on the football team?
No, like realistically, no, like I'm not gonna play around with you guys, and it's me. Like a lot of guys know it's me. I sing, but I'm
Okay.
not gonna sing with y'all. I'm not gonna sing with
Okay,
y'all.
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Not
That's fine.
acapella? No acapella?
Nah, but you guys anybody on the team that heard me sing, like I sing, I ain't gonna lie, I sing in the shower. They're like, Reggie, get out the shower. But I ain't gonna lie, you sound good. Keep singing out of Dell. But I'm like, I don't know. But I grew up singing in church. So yeah, like solos and stuff. So it was
There you
just
go.
how I was raised, and I would say best singer on the team is definitely me. But I never heard anybody else sing though. So yeah, I be posting singing videos from time to time on my story though. So
I gotta watch out next time. Gotta watch out. I got a good one for you. So obviously, dreams going to the NFL. For you right now, let me first take action. Who is the best linebacker in the NFL right now for you?
who's the best linebacker in the NFL right now?
I feel like you're gonna say. I feel like I have a guess who you'll say, but Micah Parsons.
I like Marco Parsons. I like Marco Parsons, but he gives me more like rush vibes. I'm thinking inside backer. He gives me rush vibes. But Michael Parsons could play anywhere though. But his ability to rush the pass, pass rusher is crazy. But this is probably a hard one. I would probably say I don't know who to put first between Roquan Smith or Fred Warner. But I try to do my playing style. You know, Fred Warner is quick, like he is fast, and I know I'm not as quick as him. So I would probably see myself as more as a Roquan Smith type of guy because his mindset. But another player who's good that nobody knows about is Quincy Williams from the Jets, number 56. He's a beast. And I tend to watch him. And those three right there. And being biased because he's from this is being biased. I'm being biased right now. Khalil Mack, he played outside backer though, but he's from my city, like he's from here. So
Nice.
so he retired his jersey at my high school. So and my coach told me, he said, Reggie, you get signed or drafted, we will retire your jersey too. So
Alongside Khalil Mack.
So if I get in under a year, I will have number 42 retired at my high school. So
There we
that's
go.
pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Alrighty then. Question we always ask: who should we get on the show next from the football team? In your opinion,
We've already had lights on the.
we've
podcast.
had lights.
You had
We've
Light,
had
Jackson
Chase.
McDonald, you had Chase, you had Jackson Lee, right?
No,
not in an episode. We had him. We had like a little interview with him at a practice once, but not an episode.
Okay. Okay, I could have sworn you guys had. So you just had Chase, Lights, and you guys didn't have Jackson McDonald?
we had
did.
Jackson on.
We did.
Okay. I about to say, I knew y'all had one. Who should you do next? It depends. And because you don't want it to be dry. You want it to be fun, like how ours is. You want it to be fun.
Exactly.
Don't do Potts. Jamal Potts is boring. Don't do Potts. He's boring.
Okay. Sorry, Potts.
Don't do Potts. Potts, he's just gonna do this. He's gonna be like, yeah. Don't do Potts. Comedians on the team, funny people. It would have to either be because I want somebody funny, and the funniest people on defense is Percy, Courtney, JoJo Evans. They're hilarious. And myself, I think we're the three funniest on our defense. But give me a position, I'll tell you who. You guess a position, I'll tell you who.
I mean, I'm thinking Flex Joseph. I feel like he's a good one.
My roommate Flex is hilarious and very confident. He's very confident. Do Flex.
Okay.
There you go.
He's an FIU lifer, a big lifer. He's been here for.
Flex, if you're hearing this,
Yes, he is
bro.
beyond the vet. Me being here for 5 years this year, he's been here for like 7 or 6. He's beyond.
Yeah, Flex episode, man. That'd be lights out, bro. That'd be lights out. Alrighty then, Reggie. As we again just about done here. Again, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Just talking about football. If you have anything you'd like to say to to the fans, to FIU, to anyone. The floor is yours.
Ain't gonna start off like that. I just want to say, hey guys, it's Reggie Peterson here. I just want to say I'm so grateful and so thankful for you guys to allow me to be on this show, episode 59. I don't know why I'm episode 59, but I'm grateful for it. I just want to say thank you for coming out to the games. The previous years I've been here, and we're hoping to see you guys at the game even more packed than it already was. And thank you for the guys who came out to the spring showcase. We're trying to put it on a show for you guys. We're trying to give you guys a bowl game. We need another one in that room that we got at FIU. And trust me, we are very grateful for all the guys who DM our coaches, DM us, and for the guys who just asked me about any advice. My advice to you guys is just to keep moving forward. Just everybody put on the same pants and wear the same shirts the same way that you do. So don't try to treat anybody different. It's you versus them. You gotta have that mindset to be the best that you can be. You get what I'm saying? Don't let nobody determine that you're not that guy or you're not the chosen one. Because a lot of people gonna tell you you're not good enough, but only you and God will know. You know. So faith with works. If you're doing faith without works, that's nothing but a dream. But if you're doing faith with works, it's just going to be a blessing. So keep going, keep God close, keep God first. And that's all I got to say to you guys. Thank you for watching.
Well, there you go. What a way. Reggie, again, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, man. As you pointed out, we must have somebody cool lined up for episode 60, huh?
Got to. That's big 60. It's not an odd number. That's an even number. Whenever it's a number with a 0, that's a big deal.
And we got a big guy to bring in on the show. Now, we can't announce it yet. We can't announce it.
You can't. Oh yeah. Okay. We
can't announce
it. I know who's ever going to be episode 100. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
We're still a long way from that, Reggie.
But you got to think about the future because it's going to keep going. You got to think about that. You see, one thing that I say a lot, I be like, you can ask my coaches, I'm getting an interception in practice day. I'm gonna get an interception in practice day, and I get one just by saying it. So, what would you say? How do you say it when you say something and you end up doing it? Oh, I forgot.
Manifest.
You said what?
Manifesting.
Manifestation. That's where it is. Manifestation. Thank you. Yeah. Manifesting.
All right. We'll do that at a later time because we're running out. Listen, episode 60 is going to be awesome. We want y'all to see it. It's going to be awesome. Again, Reggie, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Of course.
For myself, for Kevin and Johnny, it was a fun episode, and some good times ahead for FIU football. I believe in you. I believe in everybody, man. So
thank you. We appreciate you.
Hey, man. Lights out.
Paws up.
Not no lights out. Paws up.